only Christmas tree worth having this year is the Tree of Evolutionary Life, now in its limited edition winter form. Grab this limited time poster now while you can. It depicts every single Pokemon and how they'll be related to each other, including the all-new Melmetal. Using the links below, grab one for yourself or for a friend.
Hey, Pokemon Masters, Toby here. Prepare for a very unscripted video. Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee have been out for what, like 2 weeks at this point? And if you want to know my thoughts about the games, and I want to know yours, have you enjoyed it? Have you not enjoyed it? I thought the games were an absolute blast, and apparently reviewers agree. The games, while not the highest rating Pokemon games ever, are, rated as highly as most of the others. Like, for example, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire and Pokemon Emerald are the only two on IGN that are given a lower score than it, and both of those games were solid. They were great games. 8.3, I think, was the IGN score. And generally speaking, the reception that players have been having about this game it's really shifted. When the games were first announced, there was so much heat, there was so much criticism. People were saying these games were going to be terrible, they were going to be awful, and I'm not saying they're the best Pokemon games ever. My favorites are still probably Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Pokemon Platinum, but have I enjoyed them? Oh my goodness, yes. Have critics enjoyed them? Yes, and so many people that were criticizing the game before are now coming out and saying, do you know what, wasn't this supposed to be bad or something? And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about how Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee defied expectations. And I want to start off by saying it's nothing that Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee did. Nintendo didn't do anything, Pokemon didn't do anything other than make a regular game to the standard that they make Pokemon mainstream games. And yes, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee are mainstream games. Like I say, they're as good as Emerald and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Apparently they're better than those games according to IGN reviewers. I would rate them a little bit higher even. That's just my personal preference. Wherever you place them on the spectrum. Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, any of the remake games, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Black, White 2, X, Y, or Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Out of these games, which ones have actually been bad games? How many of these games have actually been awful, terrible? The kind of words that people were saying about Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, how many of these games have actually been dreadful? None. Some of them have had problems, yes. This is actually, Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu are my favorite games in 3 years because of the heavy amount of issues that I felt Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon had in terms of being hand-holdy, in terms of non-ending amounts of dialogue boxes. For a lot of the reasons that I hate Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, Let's Go Eevee improved on those features, and it tried a lot of risky new things, including the wild battle thing, which was the biggest point of controversy ever, which is so dumb because it's such a refreshing experience in my opinion, and in the opinion of so many others. Anyway, so if Pokemon didn't really do anything other than just make a regular quality of game, then how does it defy expectations? Oh, that's right. The expectations were set really low by just vocal members of the community who seemed to hate these games. Just based on look, just based on trailer outrage. Oh my goodness, they're taking away my wild Pokemon battles. The experience share is still there, and of course, all the people who played the demo. And this is maybe Pokemon's, a little bit of Pokemon's fault, but I get why they did it. The demo for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee that was available at E3 and other conventions, this demo was of Viridian Forest, and people played it and went, oh man, this is really easy. And it's like, no duh, it's the tutorial section of the game. Everything from the beginning of the game up until Brock is tutorial. It's not supposed to be difficult. Pokemon isn't Dark Souls. It's supposed to be accessible for kids and people, obviously older people as well. The only thing that they do to make the tutorial section of the game easier is they provide you with the options of Oddish and Bellsprout, which as a grass Pokemon, or I guess Bulbasaur as well, which as a grass Pokemon gives you major advantage over Brock and, Misty as well. It does make that earlier segment of the game easier, and that's fine because it's the earlier segment of the game. It gets harder, as most video games tend to do. And by the way, Pokemon Red and Blue, you had the options of Squirtle and Bulbasaur anyway, so it was never, that was always a choice that you had. It's only really in Pokemon Yellow that it was super hard, because your options for beating Brock were pretty much Mankey with Low Kick, or Butterfree with Confusion, or maybe a Nidoran with Double Kick. And granted, they did give you the Partner Pikachu and Eevee, which are overpowered Pokemon. Now, I ditched my Pikachu right away, so I didn't really use it that much because it was so overpowered and I wanted to make the game more challenging for myself. And most players who have played these games before probably would do that anyway. And if you haven't done that, if you want to make these games more challenging, I recommend ditch your starter at the beginning of the game. It has max IVs and it has too many different moves that it can use. It makes the game much, much easier. But that's fine for a starting trainer. For you as an advanced trainer, just ditch that one starter and the game becomes instantly more challenging. But a lot of people were reviewing the whole game as if it was Viridian Forest, the tutorial section. Most of the people were reviewing the game based on such a little chunk from the early on stages of the game. And I think that was maybe where Pokemon went wrong, maybe Nintendo's fault there for making that the demo. But then again, I can see why, because it's a demo that shows off the features of the game, not the actual story, not the actual difficulty. But based on that demo and the trailer, this game got horribly bad press from people. And there were a lot of people, like, with the wild Pokemon battles thing that would just jump on that bandwagon. I think people were genuinely concerned. I'm not saying that if you were one of these people, you were just jumping on, you know, oh, other people think it's bad, so I'm going to think it's bad. I think you probably believed that that was a genuinely bad feature, and then thought maybe no more of it. But actually, the not having wild Pokemon battles in the same kind of way has led to a refreshing new experience that means that the whole process isn't super repetitive. Combo catching, looking for shinies, looking for high IV Pokemon, that is a lot of fun. It's actually just been a wonderful, nice new feature that I've really enjoyed, and I think a lot of the community have really been enjoying and being vocal about. Actually, I found catching Pokemon to be more infuriating and more difficult in particularly tense situations where I know the Pokemon might flee on me, it might run, it might break my catch combo, which never happened in older games, in which you would just lower the Pokemon's health, throw a Pokeball, you're gonna catch it. Especially in the newer games where Ultra Balls and Quick Balls would just catch everything. So this has become more of a challenge. Rather than making it easier, it's actually made it a little bit harder. The requirements to get into Brock's Gym was another big one, which I can't believe people were complaining about because, again, tutorial section of the game, some of the later requirements to get into the gym, for example, are like in Fuchsia City, for example, you gotta have like 50 different Pokemon you need to have caught. It encourages you to go out, see more of the game, catch more Pokemon. Sabrina requires you to be at a certain level, which means you're going to be out there battling more trainers and catching more wild Pokemon. So again, wildly different, challenging experience, nice and fresh, but I think a lot of people just saw it at the surface and went, this is terrible. Just remake Gen 4 already. Do it one for one exactly how it was. The thing... That's genuinely the feeling that I think a lot of the community had. And I have had viewers, I have had 4chan, I have had other Pokemon YouTubers in person say to me things like, Toby, you're making it up. It's false enthusiasm for the game. You can't possibly feel that way. 4chan, oh, you've been paid to say the things that you've said. And by the way, I wish I was paid to say the things that I've said. I could do with the money to put towards the channel. But alas, no. I just played what I played and saw it for what I thought it was, which was a really solid, good Pokemon experience. I've been playing these games for 20 years and something this fresh was really needed. And now we've got people turning around, I'm seeing thumbnails for videos saying, hang on, wasn't this game supposed to be bad? Or, how Pokemon Let's Go is suddenly good. What did they change? What did they do? The fact of the matter is, this was always the game they were making. But the reason it's surprising people is because people set their expectations really low. So if you want to know, in my opinion, the core reason how Let's Go has defied expectations is because as viewers, as an audience, we saw the trailer, we saw the games and went, oh, okay. I'm actually hopeful that they're going to keep a lot of these features moving forward. Pokemon following you, rideable Pokemon, it's been so much fun. The way that you catch Pokemon has been really cool. It gives the boss battles a lot more makes them more monumental. Needing to hit certain criteria to get into gyms. The gorgeous overworld, as well as the bunch of new little features where they'd have old characters reappear and little cutscenes. They did an amazing job with these games. And Game Freak, Pokemon Company, if you're listening, I hope you carry a lot of this stuff forward. There are still things that I would still love to see. A hard mode is always appreciated. Challenge mode of some kind. But for the most part, I have loved these games. I would love to hear, of course, what you think. Start the discussion. Maybe you think I'm a complete idiot here and I'm saying something completely wrong. But I think this just means when we see the trailer for the next Pokemon game, if you don't like the look of it, just don't go and write it off and say, I was seeing posts beforehand of people saying, hey, if you want to do good by the Pokemon Company, don't buy this game. Don't buy it because it's not a good direction of Pokemon from people who haven't even played the game. Wait until you've had the chance to play the game or see a formal review from a big reviewer, and if you still don't like it, then great, cool, don't buy it, don't play it. But don't listen to mass outrage. Instead, do your best to have your own opinions about what you're going to be seeing and playing, which I know a lot of you do anyway, because to be honest, we have the best, I just love the audience that we've had in the whole run up to Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. The amount of comments that have been like, I did think the games look bad, but you've maybe managed to convince me, or I felt that actually maybe I want to think about it a little bit differently. The amount of lovely bits of discussion that have been in the comments, and I think this is where it all comes to a head, where we go, okay, so now what do we think? I love these games. They're not my favorite Pokemon games ever, but they're up there. For me, I think Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Platinum are really high up. These are probably right under that for me. And I know that's quite a dramatic statement, so I would love to hear where these games place for you, what you think about them. I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are, and of course, soar high, Pokemon Masters. Thank you so much to those of you supporting me on Patreon right now. Links are in the description. Go ahead and sign up. There's a bunch of cool perks. And a massive thank you to those of you who have gone above and beyond this month. Yoni, Sobin, and Xavius. Thank you.